This is the newest locomotive. This is an MTH K4. This one I got in an auction as a non-running MTH from the MTH warehouse, and I think it was a mismatch. Underneath the tender and on the rear truck, it says returned 10/16/17, I think for repair. The frame was a replacement frame by MTH. They put a new one on. It was silver. There were no boards inside, and I'm pretty sure the tender and the locomotive are a mismatch. So on the front of the locomotive, on the boilerplate, the little round black dot was a Pennsylvania Railroad keystone shape. Wasn't painted. It was just a raw metal. The shell was painted, and all of the detail was on there. The lettering on the locomotive is 1478 in gold, but then the tender has got New York Central lines in bright white. And the number on the back of the tender doesn't match the locomotive. So we tried to get this one in running condition. The wheels came off, everything got stripped down, frame got sprayed black. I took the little keystone piece off, put it in a lathe, and turned it down with a file till it was round and just painted it black to try to hide the Pennsylvania part of it. I didn't take a crack at repainting the 1478 white, maybe someday. And then the New York Central lines we just kept. I'm going to pull the top off and show you kind of what we did to make this one run. So, all right, so this locomotive has a bunch of wiring. Red is center rail, black wire is outside rails, the ground. And with this, the smoke unit on this locomotive, the little fan on the bottom is a DC power, but then the heating element is an AC. So what I ended up doing was there was no smoke switch here on off. It was back on the tender, but you could see where it was supposed to be. So I drilled it out and put it on there, and I used a double pull, double throw. One side of the switch is AC current, the other side is DC current. It's two separate switches just linked by the little slider switch. So that worked real well. And what I did is when it's in the center, it's off. And then if it goes either forward or backwards, there's a little loop that connects the two so that it will turn the smoke on and the fan on. On the lighting, I added this little thing from Evans. It's a firebox glow. So it's 3 LEDs, fast blinking red, medium blinking orange, and a slow blinking orange that are wired on. This did not have the wired tether. On this locomotive, everything runs through the drawbar. So there's a plug that comes down from the back here and a plug that comes down here, and then the drawbar actually hooks up in. So what I did was run red and black power back to this bridge rectifier that I put in the tender, and then used a double pole, double throw switch and cross wired it so that it'll do my directions. So when it's in the center, the locomotive doesn't run. When it slides back, it goes in reverse. When it slides forward, it goes forward. So that was our wiring dilemma. We got everything all wired up, wheels reinstalled, frame painted black, and then let's put the top back on and take it around. Okay, so I have it set in the center. Power is on, headlight comes on. This originally had 2 marker lights that were LEDs, and they did not work. So what I had, instead of doing new LEDs in there, I had the little Lionel red jewels for like a 700 locomotive, and I just put red jewels on either side, and they show up like really, really nice. So I'm kind of really happy with those. When you come around the back of the cab, the firebox glow, you can see it flashing very, very lightly, but it kind of flickers like a firebox would. And then when we put the train in forward, we just slide the little switch, and away she goes. Really, really nice running locomotive. It's got the rubber like band on the rear wheel for traction. Slide switch the other direction, and then we can take it in reverse. But really, really nice little locomotive. I think I got it for like 65 bucks plus shipping. And I could put, electronic e-boards in it and, go out to MTH Parts and Sales. But for what I do, it goes forward, it goes backwards, and it runs really, really nice. And we made the DC and the AC current work together. So an MTH K4 Locomotive.